I say good morning, good evening, good afternoon. How has been your day? How has been your night? Because we are all sitting in different corners of the world. We are all scattered everywhere. Some are in Dubai, some are in New Zealand, some are in Australia, some are in England, some are in Zimbabwe. Wherever you are, just know that I have greeted you. I've got some news that I just need to share with you pertaining to things and how they are transpiring back home. It's very difficult for it to be on the public domain. So at the very same time, I just want you to continue telling you that what? Take heart. God is at work. A lot of things are happening. There's a gentleman who is a general. His name is General Matatu. He's the one who replaced General Sanyatwe. Yeah, he's the one who replaced General Sanyatwe. The man is a disciplinarian. The man takes no nonsense. The man is a true military. To those who might have heard about him, you get to know that he's the one who punished Shoni Mnangagwa when things had gone bad within the camp, and he said he wants order in the army. But during that time, there was also always going to be challenges because there are some people who were very faithful or who are very faithful to the president, the sitting president. So they were always taking information in and taking information out to the president. But now something has happened within the barracks. General has done it again. He's trying to put order in the military. Having done that, you would have expected him to have gotten some backlashes. But at the very same time, it is now Valerio Sibanda who stood up as the general of the ZDF and put order to things. Instead, those who were actually pressing on General Matatu, they were actually demoted from their positions and have now been moved away from positions where they have got to be in for meetings, in for hearings, and quite a number of things. Finally, the army is being cleaned by General Sibanda, and the Geza sympathizers are in serious action. What he says there, Geza's outcry did not just go unnoticed. It was noted but not confirmed publicly. Whether it was a strategic move, whether it was a planned move, as you all know, he's actually under the protection, which I will not tell you, but he's actually under the protection of people that are very connected to the army. That's why every time he's coming on geared up in the army combat, it tells you the connection that he has. The army has actually agreed that when your loyalty expires or is doubted, so does your job. If that is done, people are losing jobs within the army. So they said, we no longer want to be loyalists to anyone, because if your loyalty expires to that very person, they are firing you out. So they've decided to start not to be loyalists and start to be an independent army. This is what they have been sitting, plotting, planning, and are also at the very same time mapping their way out of being controlled. They have finally decided to protect their jobs by acting very hard in command, and Valerio Sibanda is heading all this. The chain of command is being rewritten by General Valerio Sibanda, as you can tell, especially with the firing of those two generals. General Sibanda is now serious and is not taking any prisoners with him, but the real soldiers who are ready to protect the Constitution. Remain connected, and you'll be seeing a lot coming. Why am I getting all of this? And why am I being informed about all of this? Remember, I'm always posting dreams. I'm always in touch with most of these people. I'm always in touch with many, be it MPs or whatever. You name it. So what does this mean? It means to say the army is coming back again to reality, where they just have got to be the protectors of the Constitution. They are coming to preserve and protect the Constitution. No one is allowed anymore to tamper with that constitution. That's why earlier on I said those people who were saying the 2030 slogans have been told now to tone it down. At the very same time, those who were shouting about the constitution amendment have been toned down. So people like Sengezo Shabangu are actually doing what I would want to say is trading dangerously, because they are getting themselves involved in what we call the ZANU-PF factional fight. He is not supposed to be active in regards to that. If he's not careful, the army is watching very closely and things will turn against him. Things are going to turn around. He needs good advisors to know when to step in and when not to step in. At this point in time, he is no longer fighting a party, but he is now being watched by the army. So Sengezo Shabangu needs to be very careful on how he's trading from here on. The military is watching. When you see some of these promotions being shown in public, it's just promotion to the people and on paper, but the power would have been deduced. Your power would have been buried, just like General Sanyatwe. If he was in the army, he would be pulling the strings, and he was known for that. At one point, he was suspected to be a loyalist of the vice president, Constantine Gouveia Chiwenga. But because it wasn't fully confirmed, that's why he had to be moved away from the position of command. There's no more access to strategic meetings for these two who are ED's loyalists, and they are no longer allowed to be in national meetings. So you can see how power has been deduced from these two, right? Anyone who shows solidarity to an individual is what the army is trying to get rid of. What the army wants is no more manipulation of army. What the army wants is no more manipulation of army when it comes to decision making. They don't want anybody to give them directions on what to do. They want to run army independent of whoever is in power. So this is the position of the army as of now. So Valerio Sibanda seems to be doing a good job within the barracks to make sure that things are balanced and the army is independent. What were the two generals known for? These two generals were known mostly for strategies and promotions. At the very same time, they were known for deployment to the loyalists of ED. They were actually his eyes and his hands within the army. So these two have now been moved away, and the military is continued. Valerio Sibanda is continuing to restructure the military the way he wants military to be run. So where does this leave with these two generals? These two generals have been tied to those people who are termed Chiganandas, and they've been giving them protection, and the Barrack moguls, they were backing, and they were also Barrack moguls, and they were backing Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa. So this is a big blow to the Emerson Dambudzo Mnangagwa faction, and this is a good call on the side of General, the retired army general, who's quiet and is not saying anything. It means to say a lot of things are happening behind the scenes. The military should be understood. They have taken their stance and they are starting to impose it. They are not saying anything, but their actions are speaking the loudest. So this needs to be taken note of. The actions of Valerio Sibanda are tough actions. It actually tells you that the military has drawn a serious line of command and are no longer tolerating any ED loyalists in the operations. They want military to be independent. So Valerio Sibanda is actually putting his foot down and is not taking any nonsense. The military is being restructured. So in support of General Matatu for his tough military action over Sean Mnangagwa, Valerio Sibanda did then fire the two generals and send them to what within the barracks called the retirement unit. This is where you don't have much interaction with people. This is where you don't have much interaction in giving of orders pertaining to how things are supposed to be done within the military. They have just been put to logistics, which is a unit that doesn't have much interaction and does not need too much meetings through the orders of the system.